Hi friends, welcome to Python Learnings. Today we are going to learn regarding error handling and exceptions. What is an error? Errors are caused due to incorrect syntax in the code. Examples. I'm writing print. Syntax is if I use double quotes at the beginning or single quotes at the end, any vice versa kind of things, it is a syntax error. Another example, if I miss anything in the print function, then also it comes under syntax error. If I miss parenthesis, then also it comes under errors. What is an exception? These are the errors detected during execution. Exceptions can be caught and handled. Let's see common exception types. First one is name error. Let's comment this. Name error raised when a variable is not found in the local or global scope. Let's see example. I'm printing A here. Let's run this. See, we are getting name error. Name A is not defined. Let's take another example. Any variable you can pass. It will show the error. The second one is value error. Raised when a function receives an argument of the right type, but in inappropriate value. Let's take example. Int. Hi, I am passing. Let's run this. Let's comment this first. Let's run again. See here, I'm getting value error. Invalid literal for int with base 10. We need to pass numbers, but I have passed hi, so it is throwing an value error. Third one is type error. Raised when an operation or function is applied to an object of inappropriate type. Let's take example. I'm taking variable A. I'm passing like 2 plus hi. Let's run this. See here, we are getting type error, unsupported operand types for plus, that is int and string. So we need to pass either int here, integer value or numbers. So it is throwing error over here. Int and string won't work. That's why we are getting type error. Next is index error. Raised when trying to access an element from the list with an index that is out of range. Let's take a list. I'm considering simple list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm printing which is out of range 1. So I'm giving 7. Let's run this. See, we are getting index error, list index out of range. Let's see another one. We have 0 division error. Zero division error raised when division or modulo by 0 takes place. I'm considering a variable x. When I give 5 divided by 0, when I run this, it will throw 0 division error. Next is key error. Raised when a dictionary key is not found. I'm considering B. And I'm passing key and value pairs. I'm considering ABC as keys and 1 to 3 as values. And trying to print the key which is not present in this dictionary. Let's try to run this. See, we are getting key error because E key is not present in this dictionary. Let's comment this. The primary error handling mechanisms are the use of try and except blocks. So let's see syntax for that. Try followed with colon and code that might raise an exception. Followed with except block. We need to write some exception name, colon, and then code that runs if the exception occurs. So this is the syntax. Let's take an example. Let's write code. I'm considering here list. I'm considering same list here. I'm printing same. So this might throw an or raise an exception, right? So I'm writing inside a try block. So I'm writing the common exception type, that is index error. And then I'm printing this is an index error. Let's run this. We need, this is case sensitive. We need to write properly. Let's run this again. See here. First, it will go to try block. It will see the list and then it will print this. So previously, when we don't write except block, it will throw an error, index error. Now we are handling it by writing print statement inside an except block. That is, this is an index error. So this got failed in try block, which is causing an exception. So it went to except block and then printed this message. This is what happened here. Let's comment this. Let's take another example. Indexing indentation is also very important. I'm taking here x is equals to 5 divided by 0. And here 0 division error. And in print statement, division by 0 is not possible. Let's run this. See here. Try block exception raised, and then it went to except block, and then it got printed over here as an output. This is how try and except blocks will work. Let's comment this. We can write multiple exceptions. We can handle multiple exceptions by specifying multiple except blocks. So let's write some examples. This. Here for same example, I'll write another except block. Type error. Then print type error occurred. So we can write multiple exceptions by using multiple except blocks. So here, if I run this, it will print division by 0 is not possible. If I just change 0 to like high, then let's run this and check what will happen. See here, in try block, it checked if it is 0 division error. This is not 0 division error. So this is a type error. So it directly went to except block of type error, and then without throwing error, it printed type error occurred as an output over here. So this is how multiple exceptions work. We can also handle multiple exceptions in a single block using a tuple. I'll consider same example. So here, in single line only, by using parenthesis of tuple, just like that, we'll write in a single line. I'll print error occurred. Let's run this. See here, if any error, like if I give 0 or high or anything, then it will directly go to except block, and then it will print that what we have given. We can write in a single block. Let's comment this. Exception is an except block. I mean here. Let's consider another example and so that you will understand what I'm going to tell. Let's uncomment this. In place of type error, I'm writing exception. And this is an error occurred. So what I have written here is the exception in an except block is a catch-all for any error or exception that is not specifically caught by earlier except blocks. It acts as a generic exception handler. So this exception will act as a generic exception handler. Instead of particularly writing any zero division error or type error, we can commonly write exception so that any exception, it will go to here and it will print this. So let's try to run this. See here, I'm getting error occurred only as an output. I think you are all getting that. Let's comment this. Now let's see else and finally blocks. Try block can also have an else block and a finally block. Else block runs if no exception occurs. Finally block always runs whether an exception occurs or not. Let's see with examples. I'm telling similar examples so that you will understand clearly. I'm writing else block. Then I'm writing finally block. So if I give here the correct one, then this won't go to except block. It will automatically go to the else block, and finally block will automatically always be executed without any code or errors which are occurring. So it finally block will always print or always executes. Else block will execute only if the error is not occurred, then only else block will execute. Let's try to run this and see. See here, it is correct. So it is going to else block, division successful, and finally it is printing always executes both in as in the output. Let's comment this. We have raising exceptions. We can raise exceptions using raise keyword. Let's see examples. I'm writing a function def followed with function name. I am passing two variables. I am passing two parameters. If y equals to 0, I'm checking a condition. If y equals to 0, then I want to raise zero division error by passing a message can't divide. This is how I want to raise an exception. I'm returning here x divided by y. Now I'm writing try block. I'm passing those arguments for these parameters x and y, that is 4 and 0. And then printing C. And then I'm writing except block as exception, print E. So inside function, I have raised an exception. Let's try to run this. First, it will go to try block. So we have passed 4, 0. So this will go to this function 4, 0. It will check 0 equals to 0. So it satisfies. So it will raise an exception, that is 0 division error, by giving this message can't divide. So this is what we got here as an output. If I give 2 instead of 0, let's run this. So there is no matching of 0 equals to 0. So I got the output as 4 divided by 2 is 2.0. So this is how we can raise exceptions. Let's comment this. We have another exceptions, that is custom exceptions. We can create our own exceptions by inheriting from the exception class. Custom exceptions allows us to create meaningful error messages specific to the context of our application. Let's see with examples. I'm writing a class here. For now, I'm just writing class. Later on, we'll see what is a class and how we can write class. Class followed with the custom exception name, that is I'm writing as custom error, passing exception. And I'm not writing any methods inside my class. I'm just using pass here. But in real time, we will write methods inside this class based upon our requirements and scenarios. I'm using a function. I'm writing like I want to check a value. I'm passing value to this. So if I'm checking value is less than 0, raise custom error by passing a message like value can't be negative. And then I'm writing try block, check value, that function name I'm giving, and passing an argument that is a negative value. And then I'm writing an except block, except customer as C, that is exception, print E. So first it will go to try block, check value -3, it will be passed to this function. and then it will check -3 less than 0, that is true, and so that it will raise an exception, that is value can't be negative. See here we got output as value can't be negative. This is how we can write custom exceptions. This is all about error handling and exceptions. Hope you all understood well. Thank you. See you all in another videos. Bye.